This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, a large replica of the moon is attracting many people to the New Zealand International Science Festival. Organisers are very pleased with a 3-day music event held in Dunedin over the weekend. And Regional Mayor Tim Cadogan was amongst the crowd testing out Alexandra's new Bulls Patonk field. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Daryl Baser. If you've ever wanted to get a close-up look at the moon, now's your chance. The International Science Festival is currently exhibiting a 4-metre wide replica of Earth's satellite at a central Dunedin venue.
Hanover Hall on Dunedin's Moray Place is currently home to a stunning 4-metre wide version of the moon. The exhibition is part of the New Zealand International Science Festival being held in various venues across the city. Dunedin mother Sarah Ferguson says the display of the ethereal globe, which started yesterday, is well timed for the school holidays.
We love this stuff and always enjoy the neat things that we have here, and appreciate that we can have activities during the school holidays that teach the kids something and get a bit of energy out of them.
Festival director Dan Hendra says the replica was originally created in the UK and is now touring the world.
It's done by British artist Luke Durham, who is an internationally renowned artist. He does a huge amount of large installations. He's actually got a number of other similar products, such as one with the Earth and one with Mars, something that we're definitely interested in the future.
The illuminated globe has been printed with a composite image derived from high-resolution NASA photographs and is a very accurate impression of what the Earth's giant satellite must have looked like to astronauts as they approached it 50 years ago.
Personally, I'm interested in trying to find out where the first man walked on the moon, so I've yet to find that out, but that's something that I'll be looking at over the coming days.
The giant moon is just one of many interactive events at Hanover Hall, which Hendra says are designed to make the wonders of space travel understandable to both young and old.
We just had the story time before, and the little kids are just looking up in wonder. We have beanbags out, and it really makes them think about the moon and the world around them a bit more, and that's the goal of what the Science Festival does, is making it more accessible. And you can't get much more accessible than hanging the moon just a couple of metres from reach.
The moon exhibition runs during daytimes until Sunday, with a late night session set for Saturday. In Dunedin, The South Today.
A youth has been identified for unlawfully taking cars and causing damage to a Dunedin sports ground. Deep tyre tracks were left at the Oval on Saturday night, damaging the playing fields. Police say a youth has been identified and held allegedly responsible. He's been referred to Oranga Tamariki. The Dunedin City Council says previous incidents have cost up to $4,000 to fix. This weekend has seen the inaugural running of a 3-day music festival in Dunedin called Lobo Fest, the Winter Edition. The event follows a similar show held at Lobowski Farm during summer by Dunedin restaurateur and musician Ed Lobo. 3 days of live music called Lobo Fest began on Friday and ran until Sunday evening at venues across Dunedin. The series of shows is the brainchild of Umbrella's proprietor Ed Lobo, who says nearly 100 musicians took part.
We had 97 musicians, 32 bands playing over 3 days.
Lobo says a couple of venues hosted shows, a warehouse on Thomas Burns Street, as well as the Otago University Students Association run venue called Starters Bar. He says the warehouse space was transformed for the show, which featured rising indie rock stars Freedom.
We we actually redesigned a warehouse to make the venue, which ended up being a great venue. Probably a once in a lifetime.
Friday's gig was the pre-event hype show at Starters Bar. Saturday's was the main event in a Thomas Burn Street warehouse, with the last show, called the post-event, returning to Starters Bar. Lobo says the band Loose and Colourful headlined the event, which also featured songwriter Kylie Price. Speaking at the end of Sunday's after show, Ed Lobo was thankful to the many sponsors who took part and believed the winter event might just happen again.
So we are planning to do this again next year, again a Winterfest, and we've been doing a Summerfest for about 6 years now. This is the 7th Lobo Fest. And it's always been in the summer for a local project, but the Winterfest is now for just to give the bands an opportunity to play, and all the profits actually go to all the musicians.
He says people can expect to hear which bands are playing at the Summer Festival in February 2022, just before Christmas this year. In Dunedin, the South Today. A machete-wielding man who allegedly threatened to kill police has been arrested this morning. Dunedin police say they were called to reports of a family harm incident in Abbotsford at 6:30 a.m. A man at the property allegedly threatened to kill police when they arrived, confronting them with a machete and a knife. The armed offenders squad was called, but frontline officers managed to de-escalate the situation and take the man into custody. He's been charged with possession of an offensive weapon, and police say other charges are set to follow. An Alexandra French Bowls Club has moved to a larger, purpose-built facility. Local Mayor Tim Cadogan says he hopes the new Bowls Pétanque courts will encourage both locals and out-of-town visitors to take part.
The official opening of the Alexandra Pétanque Club's new courts on Monday featured a celebrity match between Vincent Community Board Chairman Martin McPherson and Central Otago District Mayor Tim Cadogan, a game which drew out the Mayor's competitive streak.
Well, it was a whole lot of fun, and the real pleasure of it was that I'd thrown the bowls in the backyard with the kids, but actually understanding the rules of the game and getting a bit of a head for the tactics with some great coaching, and the best bit was that the best team won, and that's the important bit.
The club has raised the bulk of the $20,000 needed to build the new complex, which included building fences and seating and levelling the ground, creating a dedicated space for large events.
We used to run competitions here in Alexandra, but used the Ice and Line car park, which was adequate for 12 piece and for the competition. But of course, with the new curling and the extension of the Ice and Line, we had to find alternatives.
Club President Alan Motion says the French form of bowls can appeal to people who might not always call themselves sports players.
Because it's a low impact sport, and it actually caters for all ages, all disabilities, so the whole community can get involved. We're hoping that families will get involved. We'll have twilight pétanque games where they can come along after tea or something like that to play. So yeah, we're looking to really increase our membership.
And Mayor Cadogan hopes the new courts will appeal to locals as well as tourists passing through.
Well, it's just superb. It's great to see a club in Central Otago outgrowing actually the place it had, and with 4 years of effort, funding which has come through, which has been really helpful, and a great deal of work by the members, we've now got this fantastic new facility that's in a location where people driving past will see it, and it's just another offering for people visiting Central Otago, right by the Motor Caravan Association Park. Absolutely ideal for visitors and locals alike to enjoy.
The new 12-pieced courts are located next to the Alexandra Bowling Club. In Alexandra, the South Today.
And still to come on the South Today, We visit a holiday program near Gore, and we begin a three-part series looking at the life of a noted Dunedin pacifist. See you after the break.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Be sure to tune in to Football Chat every week, where we chat about local football fixtures, results and everything else that's happening in the local game.
Hi, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We have a massive manufacturer's clearance plus. There's liquidated stock from our suppliers. For example, we have cotton casual trousers from 1990, dress trousers from 1990, merino zip pullovers, fashion shirts, warm winter shirts, jackets. There's a great deal on overcoats, blazers and suits. Come and check out our jeans. We're known for our jean selection.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Come in and see the massive manufacturer's clearance at Alex Campbell Menswear.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air, and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Welcome back. Creating paper pinwheels, making fabric keychains and sculpting salt dough are some of the ways children are staying entertained at Matilda this week. The Matilda After School and Holiday program is a week-long event for children aged 5 to 13. About a dozen youngsters have attended the program, which includes making origami, paper playing foursquare, as well as baking and painting rock art. The program runs each day from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And now we bring you the first of a three-part series about World War I pacifist Archibald Baxter. Growing up in Dunedin, Baxter was outspoken in his refusal to fight in war, and this eventually saw him severely punished in Europe on the Western Front. A memorial to Baxter and his wish for peace is currently under construction on Dunedin's George Street.
Grandmother Millicent read a letter that our grandfather Archibald had written from the front, which was published. Gran read the letter and was immediately taken by it, and decided that as soon as she could, she would try and meet him. My dear father and mother, I have just time to send you this brief note. I am being sent up to the lines tomorrow. I have suffered to the limit of my endurance. but I will never in my sane senses surrender to the evil power that has fixed its roots like a cancer on the world. If you hear that I have served in the army or that I have taken my own life, do not believe that I did it in my sound mind. I never will.
I'm Kevin Clements and I'm the chair of the Archibald Baxter Memorial Trust.
When this is all finished, I think it's going to be a worthy site for the, in memory of Mr. Baxter.
Archibald Baxter grew up on a farm in Brighton, which is a beach about 20 miles south of Dunedin. They were a working class farming family who were self-taught. He was extremely well read.
He certainly left school at 12, but it didn't stop him continuing to read and know about the world. But I need to say that all of the brothers had that characteristic.
He had heard a lawyer in Dunedin called A.R. Barclay talk about pacifism and the necessity for working class men all around the world to resist what they thought of as an imperialist capitalist war. He objected to all war, but in particular he could foresee that the First World War was going to be industrial slaughter on an unimaginable scale.
Come 1916, when they decided to use conscription, it was already well known that he wouldn't join, so they basically just balloted and arrested him on the spot.
Where he suffered all kinds of deprivations, solitary confinement, beatings, and then the Minister of Defence decided that they could not have this passive and active resistance to military authority. So Buchanan said, ship him off to the front. And they were put into a brig, basically, and experienced all kinds of deprivations on the way. And then at Slinkhampton, England, they were often beaten quite badly. They were basically tied to a pole in a way which meant that the blood drained down to their feet and became excruciatingly painful. The pole was tilted forward. You were supposed to only have this punishment for 8 hours, which was, again, above and beyond human endurance. And in one instance, on 2 instances actually, Baxter was basically left there for 12 and 13.
And we'll bring you part 2 of this 3-part series in tomorrow's bulletin. After the break on the South Today, a dangerous stretch of Otago Road is about to become safer, and we check out the weekend's weather for you. See you after the break.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. MoleMap is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
Hi, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We have a massive manufacturer's clearance plus. There's liquidated stock from our suppliers. For example, we have cotton casual trousers from 1990, dress trousers from 1990, merino zip pullovers, fashion shirts, warm winter shirts, jackets. There's a great deal on overcoats, blazers and suits. Come and check out our jeans. We're known for our jean selection.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Come in and see the massive manufacturer's clearance at Alex Campbell Menswear.
Thanks for staying with us. The New Zealand Transport Agency is planning to spend tens of millions of dollars to improve a deadly section of State Highway 1. The plan is to install road safety improvements between Hampden and Palmerston, a stretch of highway where 11 fatal crashes have happened in the past decade. The project will include widening the road centre line, adding roadside barriers at high-risk locations and upgrading signs and general road markings. Last year, 2 major crashes happened near Moiraki, one killing former Waitaki local Tane Roderick and the other taking the life of Brent Gordon from Christchurch. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. A large replica of the moon is just one of the events attracting many people to the New Zealand International Science Festival. Organisers are very pleased with a 3-day music festival held across 2 venues in Dunedin over the weekend. And Regional Mayor Tim Cadogan chanced his arm as he was amongst the crowd testing out Alexandra's new Bulls Petanque field. Time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Day Times. We welcome Deputy Editor Mr Craig Page.
Good evening, Daryl.
G'day.
More bad publicity for the Southern District Health Board, I'm afraid. We've got some official information documents back from them in relation to their cancer care, and it's showing that at least 27 people suffered undue harm while on waiting lists for cancer treatment. This is as of January this year. It's been an ongoing issue, of course, the cancer treatment down in the District Health Board, and the waiting times have got completely out of hand, to the point where in May this year they looked to outsource some of it, going to Christchurch to get the treatment done. So yeah, these figures don't show them in any great light. The Cancer Society has waded in, saying that the treatment times in South are just ridiculous at the moment, and it's adding to a stressful situation for patients anyway. So yeah. There's been lots of talk about getting things done, but really it's getting to the stage where something needs to be done pretty seriously.
Actual action needs to be done, not just talk.
Exactly. Breaking news, we've always wanted to say that. Just not so long ago, the Balclutha man Rodney Fallowfield was found not guilty of murdering his wife Shirley Reedy in Te Anau. The trial's been going on for a week and a half out of Invercargill now. Jury went out first thing yesterday morning and came back this morning asking more questions. Finally came back around 5 o'clock today and said that they didn't find him guilty of murder, but guilty of manslaughter. Fallowfield, of course, admitting strangling his wife, but maintaining that he never intended to kill her. So we'll have a full wrap of the court case and reaction to that in tomorrow's paper. A woman has also pleaded guilty in Auckland today to the bomb threat which caused chaos for graduating students in Dunedin late last year. She threatened an explosive attack which she likened was going to be of a magnitude of what happened in the Christchurch Mosques attack, and of course that kept everyone on edge, as you can imagine. We had I think 2 graduations and a Polytech graduation cancelled because of it. Thousands of people in town already for that, and they were called off at the last minute. So yeah, she's pleaded guilty to that in Auckland today. She's going to be sentenced in, I think it is October this year, so still has name suppression, so we can't have any more detail about that, but we will have a story. Also the Kingston Flyers, it's received resource consent to go back to public trips, which is a bit of a boom for it. It had 2 private trips earlier this year, it sort of came out of mothballs, but this is an extension of that, so they're looking to, over the summer months, to get back to some regular service, which will be exciting.
It'll be a lot of fun. Nothing
Yeah,
like a
well.
steam train.
And just finally, sporting front, we'll continue our Olympic countdown. Hayden Meikle takes a look at 6 new sports that are going to appear in Tokyo for the first time. That includes skateboarding, rock climbing and surfing, so maybe you should have hung onto that skateboard, Daryl. You could have been in Tokyo as we speak.
There's a long story to that, we don't have time.
Fine.
Thanks,
Thank
Craig.
you.
All that and more in tomorrow's ODT. Time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the southern view, the hole in the middle continues to grow as the demolition at the demolition site of the former Cadbury factory. Looking at the situation, rain spreads to most places tomorrow as a strong northerly airflow arrives from the Tasman Sea. A slow-moving complex low-pressure system might as well be paying rent as it's set to take over New Zealand over the next few days. Plan for an unsettled weekend. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, showers and 13 degrees for Greymouth and Westport. Heading across to the northeast, the showers continue over on the east side for Nelson and Blenheim. You're both heading for 13 degrees as well. Heading down to Canterbury, expect a few clouds in Kaikoura as you head for 14. It's a good day to travel from Christchurch as it'll be a bit grey with 11 degrees, while Ashburton will be a great place to travel through as it has showers and 9. To the southern towns, strong northwesterlies and rain with 11 degrees for Lumsden and 10 degrees for the Catlins, Balclutha and Gore. In central Otago, batten down the hatches as you're in for gusty northerlies and rain across this area. Queenstown, Alexandra and Wanaka make it to 10 degrees, while you're set for strong northwesterlies, rain and 9 in Tiano. To the northern towns, you can expect moderate northerlies and cloudy skies with 11 degrees on the coast in Timaru and Wamaru, while inland you have sou'westers. Have your sou'westers handy for late rain and 10 degrees in Twizel and Umarama. In Dunedin, thick cloud and spits of rain tonight with an overnight low of 7. Plan for grey skies tomorrow with light rain, high of 9, low of 8. Early northerly showers clear on Friday before persistent rain later. Expect a high of 11 and a low of 7. In Invercargill, rain clears tonight with a low of 5. It'll be cloudy tomorrow with some rain developing in the afternoon, a high of 10 and a low of 8. Cloudy on Friday with early rain easing to showers, a high of 13 and a low of 9. And that's all from the South Today team for this Wednesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on YouTube and Facebook. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.